Jai Gauranga.
Dhanyavad.
Everybody is missing you right now at the farm, Jai Gauranga. Don't know what to do without you. No pujari, no one to offer the boga.
Prabhu, I don't know what to do without the devotees at the farm. Thinking about you guys all so much, all the time.
Maharaj is still there holding the fort, doing the morning and evening programs.
Jai. Oh, beautiful.
Going out, taking devotees out.
Yeah, nice, nice. And how are you, Prabhu? You good?
Good, good. We're in Japan. What are the Australian news? We just heard from Lila Moy, there are lots of political problems. I say it's everywhere. The whole world is a big political problem. A rather unsolvable one. Infinite, kind of infinite problem.
Yes.
But regardless what's going on in the world, we will just go on with our devotional life. We can say what devotees do when everything is good, chanting Hare Krishna. What devotees do when everything is bad, still chanting Hare Krishna. So nothing changes for them.
Exactly.
And then Lilamoy, where is Dan from? You're the
Dan, chant more.
Hare Krishna. I'm from Miami.
Oh, you're from Miami. Okay. Florida.
Yeah. His Chintamani Didi friend.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Chintamani is the infinite source of good friends.
Right. I think I met her about 15 years ago.
And we just had some, oh, here's Maharaj. Jai, Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj. Jai. Oh, there's Srileka Didi, Dhanyavads. Kaylee. Maharaj, your mic is off. Maharaj.
I'm just introducing, for those who don't know, Kelly Karamba from Australia, Sri Leka from Sweet Lake City, otherwise wrongly known as Salt Lake City, and yours truly. We're here under your house, your residence, Paramananda Prabhu, there. The bamboo house.
There's some dust coming down.
Vaishnava foot dust falling down.
No comments, Maharaj.
And outside, a lot of bird poop. I have to say, those birds, they gather in the trees here. We tried to do broadcast maybe 3 days ago or 2 days ago, something, in the evening, and it started quiet, and then the birds, we couldn't hear anything. We had to relocate. Amazingly loud. What do they talk about?
I have to apologize for their behavior, Maharaj.
All right. Just as we entered, I heard that we have Dan, a guest coming from Miami. So welcome, Dan. You're with good people here, so they will compensate for my presence. No, you are with you are with good people, and we are with also your friends Jayadev Prabhu, and maybe you know Ganga Leela Devi Rasi, all from your tribe, from your part of the world. And Tunga Rasa Devi Rasi just joined us from Norway. We have Jai Gauranga from Australia, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, and Paramananda, as you know, in Japan, looking quite in disguise. I didn't recognize him at first. And Leela Moy Prabhu in Brazil. So here we are. Let us not be like the birds and just make a big sound. Let us try to say something at least a little bit sensible. But sensible means if we can try to represent Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj means Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who are all giving us Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the current, the living current of Krishna Prema, devotional service, devotional life. So first of all, as we do obeisances to each other, and then we can chat together. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And to Guru, Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And to Gauranga, Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvijay Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And by the way, we think that we have all the recordings of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, because there is a folder of recordings going around, which are many, no doubt. But there, I know that there are more recordings with devotees. And how I know that is that I did hear shortly after, I mean, it's a few days or a few weeks, I did hear a recording of Guru Maharaj giving me initiation, which was very wonderful for me to hear, in fact, because I got to hear again what Gurudev said, you know, how he said to me, etc. And, but I've gone through the files of that time period where I don't know the exact date I received initiation, unlike many devotees who know, oh, I took it this, exactly this day, on this day. I don't know the exact date. It was a day when I'm not even sure we knew what date it was. We're in Navadip and we just follow whatever's happening in the temple, and we didn't have mobile phones or any other way. I may not have even known the date. But I have heard through that series where it would be, and kind of selfishly looking for that audio, the initiation, the conversation, but I did not find it. So we know that there are recordings which are not actually in the archive as such as yet. So many hidden things will be revealed over the course of time. And we do know devotees would sometimes be with Gurudev, and only they and Gurudev with the recording. One of them was Bhargava Prabhu, a devotee we knew. I have no idea where he is now, from America, but he would sit with Gurudev out of hours, as it were, at a time. With Gurudev means Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Out of hours means not during the standard time of darshan with Guru Maharaj in the morning, early morning, and sometimes in the afternoon. I mean, in the afternoon, we'll always give obeisances, but Guru Maharaj will be flowing and talking with the devotees is another matter. But Bhargava Prabhu, he would go to Guru Maharaj, and I expect he's got some wonderful recordings, unique recordings somewhere. Anyhow, just thinking about that as we were saying the Panchatattva Mahamantra and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And here we are. Sevarupatiri from South Africa has joined us. And Sevarupa, Govinda Govinda. And you've got Andreana. You've got listening. And Andreana is with you?
Yes. Dandavat Haribol Maharaj.
Haribol. Do you have a devotee name?
No, I don't. I'm not initiated yet.
She's waiting for you, Maharaj.
Oh. Anyhow, no, I only ask because sometimes we see the devotees' names, which they do have an initiated name, but we see just their like regular name there. Anyway, Andriana, welcome. And you're in good association. And we are always really pleased to see the pictures of the festivals in South Africa. How many people attend? It's a joy and must bring joy to Gurudev, must bring joy to our Guru Maharaj. And so keep up your good seva, participate with them. You're in good company. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And we are in good company here. We're on our Zoom. We've got every devotee, look, is a special soul. And what is in common, we've all got faith in, okay, Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Guru. We have faith in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And to have that faith, to have this in our heart, it is rare in this world. Try going out and meeting the public, as it were, and seeing how rare it is for somebody to have genuine appreciation for all of these. What to speak of, you know, or for any of these, rather, what to speak of all of these aspects that we almost take for granted when we become a devotee. It's like normal. Normal, it's just normal. Yes, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. We're not going into analysis, oh, Bhagavad Gita, maybe this, maybe that, and so many things where we get, you can say, some kind of suspicion in the general world in which we are living, suspicion about everything. And actually, Guru Maharshi says that that is one of the differences, one of the big differences, Kali Kukura. Okay, we've got lots of people joining us who I don't know who they are, but here we are. But in this world, everyone's suspicious. This is the nature that we are going to be exploited in this world. We are suspicious. But in the upper world, the land where we want to go to, it's all based on faith. We hear this repeatedly. Faith means we're not suspicious. I have my guardian, I have my protector. We have the scriptures, the guidance, and we have those who are going to help us understand the guidance in the scripture. And so it's the similarity sometimes is given with the child and the parents, the child and the grandparents. They're not suspicious of their mother and father. And the idea that, oh, your mum is coming to give you a sweet, she just cooked a sweet, and then you're going to think, oh, maybe there's poison in the sweet or something like that. That's unthinkable. And if you are living in such a family, you must pray to have access to take birth in a family where you have loving parents and where you are not full of suspicion for them. So faith in the upper world, but as Guru Maharaj says, not just blind faith, but seeing faith. And Guru Maharaj says that when there is the expression blind faith, then there must be also seeing faith, like awake faith. And so Guru Maharaj also tells us we must go forward with our eyes open. And that doesn't mean by suspicion, but it just means being alert, being aware of where we are, and putting our faith where we know that we are in safe hands. This is really faith. So lots of things we are reading every day, and every day we come across a sentence or a phrase which we're always thinking, this, everything we need, we must make another poster for our wall of infinite posters. And this morning, also reading from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1, one of the 3 principal books we're reading from here regularly, and reading there about faith and how wonderful faith is. Hare Krishna. And faith, with faith comes Sharanagati. Sharanagati means surrender. When we know that is all good, and I need a master, I need a good friend in the upper world. When we know that is the case, then we should surrender. We should become, as Guru Maharaj says, a word which no one likes to hear, a slave to that plane. And that's the proof of our faith, that yes, I put myself here. I'm coming under the shelter of real guardians of the real homeland, the land of generosity, sweetness, and beauty. And I pray to be allowed to be there as the most insignificant servitor. I'm signing up for that. So faith and Sharanagati are intertwined. To have full surrender, we must have full faith. And with full faith will come full surrender, because we'll see the uselessness of anything and everything else along the way. So this is a little opener for our morning program, or our morning program here on Back to Basics. For some of you, it is late evening, and for some of you, it is the middle of the day, and here and there. And in the meantime, I can just welcome those who've joined us, who I do not know who you are, but I suspect you've got connection with Chintamani, with Jayadev, with Gangalila, with our enthusiastic preaching center. That is, we've got Ram with us. Kali Kukur is Induleka. Okay, busted. We found out who's behind Kali Kukur. Hare Krishna. And Bhakti in Victoria. So welcome. And others, I believe we have welcomed everybody else, including Andrea, and she's coming for the first time with us. I think for the first time that we've met Andreana. Is it the first time, Andreana? Or did we meet earlier?
No, we did meet before, but it's the first time, I think. No, second time on Back to Basics. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so this is my little introduction, but I always say on Zoom, I want my loudspeaker to do some exercise, not only the microphone. So that means from your side, some reflection or some contribution first, and then we can ask questions in a short while. Anybody's got something that they would like to share with us from these last few days since we met last? Don't be shy, don't be humble. Now you have to follow. Even Mahaprabhu, to whom did Mahaprabhu say, oh, stop your humility. I can't tolerate this, such humility. He did say that. To whom was that? Paramanandu, who was it that Mahaprabhu said, oh, please don't be so humble?
But it could have been anyone of his immediate surrounding. Could be Haridas Thakur.
I'm trying to remember. It was interesting because normally, and we know very well that Mahaprabhu is promoting humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. But this particular incident, it's in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. One of his Parshads, one of the great devotees, was like so humble.
One of the Goswamis, wasn't it?
Prabhu, it may be. It may be. A little homework. Maybe Induleka can do some homework, because I know she's quite good at finding these things. So Induleka, maybe you can just do a little homework on the Veda base and you'll find it, I think.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Okay, Srileka's thinking aloud.
Okay, there's a tip. Meeting of Mahaprabhu, Rupan Sanatan Ramakeli in Induleka. Take a look.
Yeah. Okay.
Govinda, Govinda, Gopala, Gopala. Radha Sundari Devi also joined us, and she's probably in Mayapur. So we're getting a touch of Mayapur. Okay, any contribution from anyone? This is my request. Okay, then we have a contributor. We have two contributors here, Srileka and Kalikaramba. So Srileka always got something in her pocket, and she's always sharing something with the devotees. So let's put Srileka on the spot. She's not exactly on the spot because they're invited to participate. So Srileka, something that you were reading this morning from Sermons of the Garden of Devotion.
Oh, this morning, Abhinavasundar Prabhu was reading from the sermons, and it was that section where Srila Guru Maharaj is talking about what can look like devotion externally. Anyone can do that, like, get some some hints about some way that a devotee lives. For example, this was not in the class, but
look here.
Oh, look there. Oh, we read, Srila Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj's disappearance was recently, and how, one man set up shop very close to Srila Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj, and he's imitating everything that Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj is doing. So, you know, so everybody will think, oh, wow, he's really great, like Gaura And then Babaji Maharaj, if I'm remembering this story correctly, Babaji Maharaj said, yeah, so any lady can go into the delivery room where babies are born, right, Paramananda, and make all kinds of noise, but the baby's not going to come out. There's not going to be a baby at the end of it. So in this particular section of sermons, Srila Guru Maharaj is talking about that, you know, someone with a heart of stone can be showing, because, you know, there's the Sahaja section in India. I mean, sometimes when we first would read these things, we think, well, who would do that? But there are many Sahaja groups in India that have, you know, that, I don't know, they do all kinds of things of falling on the ground and, you know, making a big show and crying if they have that talent to cry. You know, and Guru Maharaj is saying, no, don't go to that illusion area. We're looking for the substantial thing. And if it takes us a long time, the conversation went this way this morning also, that we're worshiping something that is so pure, so dignified, so innocent, so self-giving, self-sacrificing, that the fact that we know that it even exists is a great wonder in our lives. And so, you know, we will worship this beautiful thing, and we're praying to be able to worship that and keep this ideal of life in our hearts forever. And what will come down from that plane, that's their business. But we're worshiping and this beautiful thing and trying to become familiar with its beautiful quality. If we compare anything that we see along the road to this ideal of absolute surrender to the Lord, in full self-giving, and as Maharaj said this morning, slavery, because you can't have any other feeling towards such a beautiful truth. You will want to be the slave of that. That will be like an impossible, beautiful, wonderful prospect that you can hardly believe that you could possibly have it. So we're trying to, anything that we see that is, propounded as truth in this world, if we compare it and go along, we will see that there's always a lie. There's always some lie in this plane of exploitation. So anyway, we're going on like that, and together, you know, trying to worship such a beautiful thing, and taking, you have to stop me eventually.
No.
As we also have been reading about from Revealed Truth, that beautiful verse in Prapana Jivanamrita composed by Srila Guru Maharaj about the drops of honey coming from the mouths of the bumblebees, of the great devotees who are always, constantly, and in a new way, and in a wonderful, loving way, tasting the honey from the lotus feet of the Lord. Some few drops, because they're chanting, some few drops may come, and we're trying to taste a few of those drops, and always, worshipful that, Krishna consciousness is there and with my Guru. So we're always trying to live that life. And Srila Guru Dev said, I'm always getting new nourishment from this verse. So we have so much guidance in how to live our lives.
Jai. And Sri Lekha heading up the ashram actually in Salt Lake City, and she's come and been in the programs here and sharing so many things from her rich life, and telling also about how this idea of surrender, when she joined in the 1970s, beginning of 70s or end of 60s, When did you join? 1970. And when she joined, then there was no, she's explaining how about there was no sort of flirting in the temples, etc. Rather, Srila Prabhupada, he arranged the marriages for the devotees, those who he saw they're not going to be brahmachari, they're not going to be single ladies. So he arranged their marriages. And Sri Lekha is one of those whose marriage was arranged. She met her husband the day before she got married. But this is an indication of that mood that Srila Prabhupada instilled into the devotees. You come, you surrender, and what is good for you will come automatically. And Sri Lekha did say, and I had a happy family life all the way through. So there we are. Jai, so Sri Lekha, many thanks. And Kelly is with us. She's a reluctant speaker, but she has a lot of wealth. And so if you all give Jai, then we can hear from Kelly. So all make a little prayer. Kelly, let us hear something from you. Okay, I can hear it in a subtle ether. Kelly, a few words, please.
Well, today we had Purushottam Prabhu leaving here, and it made me sort of think, you know, our group here is getting smaller and smaller. We had this huge festival of devotees come from around the world, and so many amazing, actually, personalities in our mission. We were all kind of wondering what's going on. How have all these personalities been drawn to come here? And now slowly everybody's gone home, and we're just a few here, and just making me think again how precious and rare it is to have association of anyone who has some faith in the Lord and some desire to offer themselves to the Lord. What to speak of these incredible personalities that we do have association of here, Sri Madhusudan Maharaj, Sri Lekha Didi. And you know, we're reading also about, you were mentioning about faith. And something came up the other day, and I was thinking about how when Gurudev left the world, and we were in the Nat Mandir having his festival in his honor 10 days later, and everybody was completely destroyed. And looking at all of the acharyas were sitting in the Nat Mandir in a line, like a whole wall of them. And I'll never forget, well, I hope I never forget, they just looked illuminated and big and strong, and like the expression immovable, like heavier than the Himalayas. And I was feeling like these are our guardians, like their faith is so strong, so solid, so unshakable. And when we were at the festival, I was feeling like that, looking around and seeing the personalities that came that are like the seniors in our mission around the world, and their faith is just so unshakable, so deep, so strong, and just so inspirational to have their association. And yeah, I was just reading today about faith, that we're trying to approach the infinite, and we can't actually do that by our own efforts, like through our mind. It's actually through faith and through associating with those that actually have substantial faith. I was feeling completely inadequate myself, but incredibly fortunate to be in this association and with you all who turn up to these Zooms every week, twice a week, and have so many beautiful qualities and things to offer. And I feel like I don't have anything, but some appreciation and feeling very grateful to be here in this association.
Hare Krishna. Jai Kalikaramati. Sri Lekha Didi. And where is our Paramananda Prabhu? Because all of this festival where we've been in Thailand for, well, now it was a 9-day festival, but it's been going on now almost a month. He can't get rid of us. Yes. He couldn't get rid of us, so he ran away to Japan. Just see. So, oh, look at these guys. But I should say too that the program is fully going on just as it was during the festival, as it should be everywhere, with the morning program, evening program, prasadam together, and doing something useful in the day towards the ashram here, towards the farm. So everything is continuing in a devotional way. But Paramananda, he made it all possible with actually the surprise invitation on January the 1st this year, because we all know that COVID has been around, so many restrictions, and even a lot of the world were thinking, we'll never be able to travel again. Look at all this, it's just going downhill, and then this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But in the middle of that sort of depression of the general psyche of the world, then Paramananda made that decision, and he called me up on the 1st of January and said, more or less, I had an epiphany, now it's fixed. We're going to have a festival. And so from then on, it just gradually happened. And I think a big surprise for us all, the quantity, but also the quality, that all of the devotees came so wonderful, and their behavior with each other was so wonderful. It was Vaishnava behavior and continues in that way. But Paramananda who made this possible. So Paramananda Prabhu, over to you with the microphone and some sharing for our spiritual life, kindly. Your microphone is off, Prabhu. Your microphone. Off, still off. There's a button there somewhere. Govinda, Govinda.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, some practical. Listening Madhusudan Maharaj saying all those things just reminded me that from a practical point of view, if anyone wants to practice tolerance, the best place is the company of the devotees.
Oh,
really?
Dear.
there is no other good place in the world. Just be in the company of the devotees naturally. You will learn how to practice tolerance and humility. Because... And also giving honor to others, because whatever honor is coming to us, seemingly really has nothing to do. I'm just going to speak for myself, nothing to do with myself. And I can say same things Maharaj just said about pretty much everyone who participated or wanted to participate, starting with Madhusudan Maharaj himself, who actually phoned me. And even though we did conceive of this idea together, no doubt about it, who was first, I cannot say then, but it was him who brought it up again. And I said, yes, Maharaj, I've been thinking, but really, coming from Madhusudan Maharaj as an inspiration, when I heard that, I took it as a direct order of Srila Govinda Maharaj, as it was coming from him. So I said, yes, of course, Maharaj, if it is coming from you, then I'm feeling that there is some divine backing there. And yes, Maharaj, whatever you say, I can just remove my name from it. Under the whatever you said, I can put my signature. And it was a wonderful festival. As of yesterday, a devotee phoned me and he said, he left festival. It was already, 2 weeks past. And then he's saying, I just got back to my external consciousness. I couldn't understand where I am after that festival. Every day I'm waking up and I'm thinking, oh, I'm at Govinda farm and I'm going to join a kirtan, a class, or just having prasadam with the devotees. And then he said, it was like I was in some kind of a spiritual world. He said, I can conceive of spiritual world just by thinking about myself being with all the Vaishnavas there. And I also felt strong presence of Srila Govinda Maharaj, even though he's not a disciple of Srila Gurudev. He never met him in person. But he said he never felt so much presence, such a strong presence of Srila Govinda Maharaj as during this festival. Again, happened by the grace of all the participants, no doubt. And so many things Srila Ekadidi expressed about the nectar, and it all comes to the same thing. We all are Bhagyavan Jeev, or fortunate souls, or Sukritivan Jeev. Srila Guru Maharaj, he speaks about the necessity of Sukriti, which is a very mysterious thing, the Sukriti in itself. And that without Sukriti, even faith is practically impossible to achieve. You have to have that good fortune to come in touch with such a high conception, to come in touch with the agents of that higher world and the highest conceptions, to be exposed to that. So in that sense, whoever is gathered here is the Bhagyavan Ji. There is no doubt about it. And also Srila Guru Maharaj pointed out that it is also our right in a way. Krishna consciousness is also our right. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami confirms that in Chaitanya Charitamrita by saying, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kabunoi, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korye Odoi. But how is it awakened? By the association with the sadhus, with the devotees. And while we were living, when I was leaving the farm, Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, she read a verse, Satat Prasanga Mama Virya Samvido from Kapila Muni, saying the same thing. And we can go on almost forever. And every Shastra, every saint will say the same thing. This necessity of the guardians, necessity of the sadhu, necessity of the devotees and saints. Really, it is by their grace we can be exposed to something inconceivably high and even have some kind of idea about it. And while Srila Kadida was speaking, I remember how Srila Guru Maharaj once asked the auditorium, I mean, whoever assembled in front of him. Normally, they would put questions in front of Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj would give an elaborate answer till everybody more or less gets it, or at least the answer was there, and you can listen to it again because everything was recorded. And then suddenly, Srila Guru Maharaj asked gathered devotees, and he put a simple question, put forward a simple question, asking, what is Krishna consciousness? It was so simple, but also when you hear something like that, your mind starts working and thinking, okay, what is it really? Because really, we're going to so many details, but what is Krishna consciousness? And then everybody started offering their own ideas of what is Krishna consciousness. And we can notice, and Guru Maharaj said, yes, all of them can be right. They're parts of the whole. And then he answered himself. But actually, the answer is very simple. Krishna consciousness is the reality. And it is in your interest to get acquainted with it. Really, it's such a beautiful, such a simple answer. So we're here gathered together in order to get acquainted with that reality, with the reality, not that reality, with the reality. Reality, the beautiful. Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Guru Varga, our last year's Guru Varga, and the present devotees, and not just the Acharyas, but also present practitioner devotees, the devotees who took shelter of the present guardians. They all possess to some degree, and they have the capacity to share with others. And it will only increase if you share. So it's not for keeping. It's not, in a way it's ours, but in the same time, how can you keep? And this comes to that verse. Shri Shrimad Bhagavata Madhu Svadotsvar Satpada Nikshipta Makta Bindavasya Parito Brasta Gunjat Brasta Kunjita. Srila Guru Maharaj's concluding verse to Prapana Jivanamrita, and Srila Gurudev gives a beautiful explanation of that verse. He says that I am assembling what is coming from the lotus mouth of those saints who are enjoying that nectar. I'm assembling those and I'm tasting. And then I'm sharing with others. And when the others receive that, that's Gurudev's explanation. They're doing the same. So it's kind of infinite. It's the infinite stream of that nectar coming from the lotus mouth of those saints and coming down, and they're collecting, they're tasting and thinking how wonderful it is. They're passing it on. It is inconceivable. So that verse is actually a perfect conclusion. And it's not even a conclusion, it's the beginning of something infinite. It's just so perfect for Prapanna Jivanamritam. You can say, yes, that's the end. It's not the end, that's the beginning. Here is the food for you, here is the nectar. Now you go and share it. And that's how you can realize your good fortune and the real treasure that you are receiving by the grace of all the saintly Vaishnavas. Maharaj.
Yes. How do you spell bees? B-W-S.
Bees.
Okay.
There we are.
And didn't Dulekha find out Where is that Mahaprabhu's phrase?
Oh, that phrase,
sorry,
Indulekha found it. Yes, yes, Indulekha, please read it for us. She
No, I
found it.
didn't.
Huh?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I was actually I'm cleaning. I thought it
Oh,
wasn't like I had.
Sevarupadi found it.
Oh,
Sevarupadi.
okay, good.
He beat
Okay.
you to it. Thank you, Sevarupadi. So Sevarupa, you found that quote about abandoning your humility. Would you like to read it for us? Kindly.
Dandavats. Yes, I just thought I'll help if I could. But it is from Chaitanya Charamrita 1:208. My dear Sakara Malika, from this day your names will be changed to Srila Rupa and Srila Sanatan. Now please abandon your humility, for my heart is breaking to see you so humble.
So it is Mahaprabhu meeting in Ramakeli with Sanatana Rupa. Okay.
It is indeed, yes. And
yes,
so
I thought
I don't know any other place where Mahaprabhu is saying, don't be humble. You know, the intense humility of Sanatana, not only won Mahaprabhu's heart, but it like breaking his heart, as he's saying here. My heart is breaking to see you so humble. Hare Krishna. Anyway, yes, very beautiful, wonderful things. And about that verse that Srila, Paramananda was mentioning just now about the bees tasting the honey, then we can just read, and we may have read it recently on Back to Basics. It's been in our reading here in Govinda Farm, and here just Srila Gurudev saying about that verse. He's saying, Srila Guru Maharaj composed a verse that beautifully explains how we connect with the Lord and his service through the sadhu. And then Gurudev says, this verse is the dearest and highest verse for me in life. Still so much light comes to me from this verse, and with that I am fully satisfied. And it is that verse in Prapana Jivanamritam, the 10th chapter, where Srila Guru Maharaj, he's coming to the end of the Prapana Jivanamritam, and he's expressing his gratitude for how the Prapana Jivanamritams come together by the grace of the devotees and the Lord. And it is that verse, Shri Srimad Bhagavat Padambuja Madhu Shvadotsavai Shat Padayar Nikshipta Madhu Bindavascha Parito Brashta Mukhat Gunjitai Jatnai Kinchid Iharitang Nija Parashreo Ritana Tanmaya Bhuyo Bhuya Ito Rajangsi Pada Sanglagnani Teshang Bhaje. And then what Gurudev says, when Srila Guru Maharaj composed and finished his Prapana Jivanamritam, he wrote this verse confessing, what I have presented in Prapana Jivanamritam is not my own property. I have actually collected this ecstatic property from the devotees. And then Srila Gurudev saying that Guru Maharaj's expression is, the super devotees are like bees, always tasting the ecstasy, honey-like nectar of the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who is the cause of all causes, the supreme controller, the origin who has no origin. As a lotus is always full of nectar, so bee-like devotees are always collecting the nectar from the unlimited ocean of nectar, that is the Lord's lotus feet, and tasting that through their super mood of devotion. As they taste that nectar, they sing the glories of that nectar and their master, Lord Sri Krishna. Oh, well, the whole description is a bit long for me to read it all. But anyhow, if anyone tastes honey and sings at the same, if anyone tastes honey and sings at the same time, then naturally a few drops of honey must fall down from his mouth as remnants. Devotees who ecstatically glorify their Lord, who are always drinking and drinking and drinking, and intoxicatedly glorifying their Lord, always spill many drops of nectar from their mouths in all directions as they dance and sing. Here in this book, Prapanajivanamritam, I have collected those many drops of eternal, transcendental ecstasy that are falling from the mouths of the Lord's devotees as their mercy. For both myself and you all, I have collected those falling drops of nectar and made a plate for everyone to taste that nectar and be supremely benefited. I am so grateful and indebted to all the devotees who glorify their Lord and taste the nectar of his lotus feet, that here at the conclusion of my work, Prapanajivanamritam, I now bow down to all of them again and again. And then the Sanskrit then, again and again, I glorify the lotus feet of all these devotees. That is, the devotees who collect nectar directly from the Lord's lotus feet, the devotees who drink the nectar collected from the Lord's lotus feet, the devotees who catch and distribute the drops of nectar which fall from the mouths of the devotees, drinking the nectar collected from the Lord's lotus feet, and the devotees who accept that nectar which is offered to them after it has been collected, tasted, dropped, caught, and distributed. I take upon my head the dust of the feet of all these sincere devotees whose hearts are filled with divine hankering. And then Gurudev says, in this way, Srila Guru Maharaj finished his composition, Sri Sri Prapanajivanamritam. And he does also very humbly say, more explanation of this verse is possible, but shortly I have explained some. Hare Krishna. And if we did read this last time, I really don't apologize that we read it again, because it is so wonderful. And these things, we chant, we hope we all chant, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. We are doing many things every day, but we must be alive with all of these things and not just as a routine or formality, or I've joined the Hare Krishna club, so I do this kind of thing. We must be alive with our consciousness of our chanting, our consciousness of the devotees, our consciousness of these great treasures. And there are so many treasures, but Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, they're always pointing to some specific treasures. And here Gurudev, when he's saying that, you know, this is the highest and best verse of my life, I mean, it is all so wonderful. And what were his exact words at the beginning there? This verse is the dearest and highest verse for me in life. Still so much light comes to me from this verse. And with that, I am fully satisfied. So when we've got that spotlight on such a verse, then we are happy to repeat it and not just read it once. Hare Krishna. All right. Well, we did invite you to share something. So now we can invite you to ask something. We have exalted devotees here with us on the Zoom and here with us in person. So please do ask a question if there's something in your mind. And I know the devotees can't answer every question. Why? Because we are talking about the inconceivable world. So we can only touch on something, and we can try to share something that we've heard or experienced. Any question from any quarter? In the meantime, Ajita Krishna, who in USA, welcome. Muktinath, welcome. Priyanana Devirasi, welcome.
Dandavad. I have a small question. It's almost the repetition of your last words, but maybe Srilekha Didi can tell us, like, whether this, like, do you always feel this live stream, or like you have to feed it, nourish it somehow to make it live, or what's the quotes, the routine for nourishing and keeping alive.
It's a really important question, Didi. It's what everyone is always asking, and that question comes to us into the heart of devotees. I think, for a long, long time, because we are making a journey. So what the food of us at one time, that may not be exactly the same. So we're going on, and as we're constantly with the devotees and hearing, we're hearing something new, but we're also hearing it in a new way. And it's coming at the right time. There's certain things have to be passed through or changed, and then suddenly some new hearing will come. So we're really on a journey, and we just have to continue with that journey. But there are times when suddenly we feel, oh, I don't feel I'm moving. Anyone will feel like this sometimes. That suddenly I feel like, in a stream, sometimes the water will go off to the side and not be moving. Suddenly I feel like I'm in this backwater and not making progress. But that is a very, very good thing, because we need to move in a different way. It's important. It's not bad. But at those times when we feel, oh, what have I done? I don't know what's wrong. I don't feel any enthusiasm or something like this is going to happen to everyone. At that time, we will bow down. Yes, my Lord, this is your arrangement. You please, I accept that this arrangement has been made by you, and know that the Lord is pushing us in a new direction. Be sure of it. We are not worshiping some personality who's existing and just not doing anything over there in the spiritual world, nothing to do with us. He's reciprocating like anything. And everything is alive with his will. Guru Maharaj said, only he knows the purpose of every movement in this world. So we're looking at some leaf here. It's going this way, and then it's going this way. Only he knows the meaning of that. This is called Krishna consciousness. We must see him everywhere. And in these moments where we're feeling, oh, I don't know, I don't feel like going to, I don't know, we'll bow down and say, yes, my Lord, this is coming from you. You are my protector of my spiritual progress, and you are my guardian. And I accept every wave coming from you. Show me how to move forward towards your holy feet. Something new I didn't know before. Something I didn't see before. This is what's happening. It's all positive. All of it. We must make subjective advancement. That means between me, my relationship with reality, with the true environment, which is all divine. It's all perfect. Not what I can see with the holes in my head. This holes and that hole and this hole and that hole. What can they perceive? But what we can perceive in the heart, which Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita, the Lord is, Gurudev is always trying to show us some new Prakashita, means revelation. So that is important. We must see the workings of the Lord in our own life and in the life around us. We have to do this. This is actual sadhana. So we will never feel discouraged. Sometimes we're feeling some, and we can talk to someone, they can help, a trusted, loving friend can help us remember it's all good. This is all flowing. Bow down, smile, and think, where are you taking me through this? Through this circumstance, even my discouragement. It is bringing me to a new place, a new, because we can't stay where we are. We're making progress. So some discouragement about where I am may come in order to push me to somewhere else. We have to connect with the Lord. Bowing down, Sharanagati, yes, you're my guardian. You're my protector. Vasira Pibe Krishna. These are the moods of surrender in all circumstance. All circumstance, he knows what is the meaning of everything. So we're trying to go on in this way and keep the association of devotees, because everyone's got a strength or a treasure that I don't have. Everyone. So we're kind of like, excavating or trying to, with our metal detector, looking for the gold in the heart of the devotees. And Srila Madhusudana Maharaj, very, very regulated in giving, this way of life. And it's also really, really very, very helpful. But as he said, with heart, with movement, with the mood of surrender to what is coming to me today or tomorrow or the next minute. Or anyway, that's kind of something I think about quite a lot. And I read something or heard something. I'll just say one more thing. I heard something from Srila Guru Maharaj yesterday, maybe. I was writing some things down, and Guru Maharaj said that the object, meaning the object means if I'm giving something to Srila Madhusudana Maharaj, he's the object of my giving. So the object of any action is the judge of its characteristic. Or in other words, why I'm doing something, really, what is the object of my action? That will be the judge of its nature, that action. So we can even be dancing or chanting or talking, but what is the object? To whom am I, for whom am I doing this? That will be the nature of its value. So sometimes we can even be speaking about Krishna or chanting Krishna or anything and forgetting that I'm doing this for Guru and Gauranga. So we have to be, be conscious that I'm doing this for you, my Lord. Actually, I don't even know who you are, but you know who I am. And I'm just trying to make an offering of my life. So, all these prayerful things are very much a part of our lives. And so that's this. Mm-hmm.
Jai.
Thank you, Shilekha Didi. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Priyanana, we are in Thailand and it feels just a little empty without you here. You're always looking after every devotee's interest when they come, taking care. And so, I'm sure the devotees now are also doing that, but they're not Priyanana. So just know that you're remembered here in your absence.
No, I'm not looking after you. I'm looking at you.
Hare Govinda, Govinda. And what about Victoria and our new friends who are with us here? Do you have any question? Something you'd like to ask us? Some clarification maybe? Okay, no problem. You can consult with Chintamani to try to find out who are these people I'm talking to. And Leela Moy Prabhu, it is good. Maybe you and we can chat just after this. Is that good? Okay, very good. I'll give you a call on WhatsApp. because you are in our thoughts and our consultation with the devotees also. Ah, mosquito. Yeah, we do have mosquitoes here. Okay, and what about Kelly? Any last word?
Well, actually, I was just thinking, because well, for me, I hear Srila Kiriti speaking, feel like, I mean, like she's saying, this is life. This is the prayer of our life. This is how we're trying to live our lives. But like really practically speaking, like how, you know, I feel like Prinana was saying, like, how do you keep that alive in you every day? How do you keep that focus so that you are seeing the environment like that, so that you are praying to the Lord in that way? And what I noticed here at the festival, because Srileka is always transcribing something, like all constantly, and she even has a little book that she writes special slokas in, or just really special, I mean, everything's special, but super special things that touch her heart that she wants to remember. She has a little book that she travels around with. And then I noticed she was a little unwell in the festival at some point, and I went to see her, and I came in and she's lying in the bed, like kind of can't move, but she had her laptop on the table and she's listening to Guru Maharaj, and it was on a loop. It wasn't because she thought, oh, well, I have nothing to do now, I'll just, you know, try and pass the time, or I may as well hear something, or this will take my mind, because it's what she does, like every day, all the time. And so she's sick, doesn't matter, she's lying down, she's still hearing Guru Maharaj, and I feel like that's how she's constantly staying so enthusiastic and has so much wealth to just give all of the time, because she's constantly hearing, remembering, learning slokas. It's very, very practical and alive in her on a daily basis, hour to hour. Just thinking that.
Oh, anyway, I'm looking at Kelly because I just want to say, and the other developers, you know, like really, like I'm not trying to reciprocate something. I really, from my heart, I'm looking to see people, the devotees who are so just spontaneously wanting to take care of others and serve, and just, you know, I really love that quality, and I'm learning so much really from, well, you know, we learn from the living devotees, from what's living in the hearts of the devotees, and you know, again, you know, the object, like, you know, we can become so, you know, we just trying to remember, it's all the property of my guru, and I'm trying to do something with it. If he gives us something, he gives us a spoon and he gives us a pot, it's all his property, and he's trying to, you know, give us some service, something to do, and he's bringing us forward to make some offering, and we're just like little children, you know, that he's bringing us forward, and we don't know what we're doing it this way, and it's all their property, and this feeling of being not so powerful, not in charge of my own progress, but only, you know, trying to bow down to the wave of mercy that's coming, and just, you know, getting the happy and cozy feeling of smallness and the negative aspect of practice of surrender. It's a lovely place to live that we've seen in others, that we think, oh, there's home, sweet home, you know, in that negative feeling of, you know, depending. Guru Maharaj said, independence is poison. We are dependent on the beauty and mercy and sweetness of those great souls. It's very cozy for us. Home feeling.
Jai. Okay, so with our home family here gathered together on Zoom, we all need to continue our day, and let us, I'll have a chat very soon with Leela Moy Prabhu, and if Jai Gauranga Prabhu is free after like 20 minutes or so, then we can also have a chat, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, touch base. And Jayadev and Chintamani looking very cold in the night, and we are warm in the day. Look where we are. Under the bamboo house. Beautiful weather, beautiful devotees, beautiful program, and we've got the association of you all too. So Jai Shila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Om Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Rock Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. And Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. To all the assembled devotees Ki Jai. To the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. All the worldwide Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusu Maharaj Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. And if you want any of these quotes that are in the chat box, do remember to copy them out now, because when Zoom closes, we lose all the chat record. Jai. Okay, so please continue happily. We'll meet again soon. All best wishes to each of you, and thank you for the heart and regards everything from Victoria and from each of you who are with us today. Our obeisances and Dr. Dan, we're happy to have you with us, and we'll meet again soon. Brancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Dandava, Dandava.
Dandavad.